All right, hello again. If this is your first time joining, welcome. If this is not your first time joining, welcome back. My name is Cliff, and today is Sunday, July the 16th, 2023. Just finished week 4 of my ADF 41 challenge. My weight for this past week, my weight average for the past week was 244 pounds, which is a weight loss of 3.3 pounds for the week, and a total of 11.2 pounds. So last week, if you saw the video, I was talking about some things I wanted to change up, and I was trying to, because I only lost like 1 pound like the week before, and I was trying to get myself kind of titrated to a weight loss of 2 to 3 pounds. This time I got more than 3 pounds. So the changes that I made last week have been wildly successful, and I am over the moon about that. Basically, I was eating too much, so I dropped my calories down, and it worked. Who would have thought it, right? I also kind of cleaned up my in between my fast days, right? Like I stopped snacking and kind of munching and nibbling on my fast days, and it was successful. So let's get into that. My fast days for the week last week were Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. My fasting times for last week were like 40 hours. It was like almost 41 hours, 49 hours, and 46.5 hours. Basically, my eat days going well. Since I lowered my calories down, I'm eating less food, right? And I'm able to pretty much eat all of my food in one meal now. So like I dropped like 1,000 calories out of my calories for each day. So now I'm able to eat basically what I was eating before, my OMAD kind of lifestyle. And what that's doing is giving me these longer fasting windows. So now I'm the 49 hours, 46 hours, like that's because I'm eating once instead of eating like twice during that time. The fast days are going well now. They're a little bit more intense. Like the focus and the clarity that you get, the energy that you get during that fast window, it's like more, because I'm getting a few more hours in every day, and so it's starting, and I'm eating less food, so I'm going into that like ketogenic state, that deeper ketogenic state, a lot quicker, a lot more often. So I'm feeling it, definitely. I found that the whole nibbling on my fast days, that's really mental. Like I'm not hungry. I don't get hungry. I don't really get hungry at all. And so as long as I'm focusing and concentrating on what it is that I'm doing, what it is that I'm trying to do, I have been able to kind of prepare my meals on my fast days when I need to without messing up. Actually, I had a pretty good non-scale victory this week. I finished my surgery rotation, and I had a big test to take at the end, shelf exam that I took on Friday, but Friday was my fast day. And usually, after a big test like that, and a big hard rotation like surgery, I would be getting after it, you know what I'm saying? Like eating some snacks and doing something to celebrate, drinks and all of that. Now, I still did those things, but I didn't break my fasting. I kept my fasting window, and I was rewarded for it. I got an all-time low weight like Saturday morning, and then Saturday on my eat day, I did those things. Now, I'm probably gonna pay the price for that, but I do feel like life is about living. So, you take the time to celebrate victories here and there. I believe in that. But the point for me is that I was able to stick to my fasting window, even though I had every reason not to. Well, that was kind of a win for me. So this week, gonna be more of the same for me. I figured out what works. So the 2,700 calories on my eat days, it works. Doing the OMAD kind of style, that's fine too. That works for me. It's convenient because I get to get all of my food in before I go off and get started with my day. I start my internal medicine rotation tomorrow, so that's gonna work. So I'm gonna stick with the meal plan that I have and see if that continues to get me the results that I was able to get last week. I'm gonna see how that goes. I have decided that I'm gonna add some exercise now. It was always gonna happen for me. Like, I know that I need to get in shape. Losing weight is great, but being fit and having some muscle tone and being able to move my body and be strong basically is important to me as well. And so I think now is a good time for me to start. I'm changing my rotation, so my schedule is going to be a little different. Things are going to be, it's a good opportunity because everything is shaken up for me right now. So it's a good time to kind of establish some new habits, and I'm going to incorporate exercise into that. I'm going to do this program that I did back in the day. It's an old program, Power 90. It's like the original one, not the Power 90X, but like Tony Horton's Power 90. And it's a good workout program. It's got some stretching in it. It's got some cardio in it. It's got some weightlifting in it. It's got some ab work, core work stuff. And it's sectioned out where you can start at a low level, like off the couch for me, basically. I haven't exercised in a couple of years in any real capacity. And it allows you to build up over time. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start this week. I'm going to take it real slow, real light. It's a lot of push-ups and a lot of weights. I'm doing on the knees push-ups because I haven't done a push-up in a long time. So, starting slow, man. Starting slow. I don't have no ego lifting or nothing because I want to establish some good form and a good base and all of that business and get back into it and make it last, right? So that's going to be for me this week. I do expect it to affect my weight loss. Usually what happens for me, especially when I get back into exercising after a long time, is that, that soreness that you get, that happens big time for me. And all that soreness is fluid building up, lactic acid. It's literally a fluid that builds up as a waste product of energy metabolism in your cells. And so until you get back into shape, you're going to be carrying around extra fluid that causes you to be sore, which is to be expected. So I expect that to mess with my numbers a bit, and I'm not going to freak out about it because I know that the calorie intake is going to work. It's working. So I'm going to keep the calories where they are, and I'm going to give it a couple of weeks to even itself out. The soreness part of it should pass in a couple of weeks. So I'm going to stick with it, give it some time to work, see what happens, keep my eye on it, whatever. Got my little notes here, so that's mostly that, man. Things are going well. The weight is coming off. Feel better, The diet plans are going well, and kind of figuring things out. So I kind of want to talk about, I got these little topics I want to talk about. You saw the thumbnail, right? So I want to talk about this idea of calories versus hormones. So I do a lot of reading about weight loss, about ketogenic diets, I try to keep up with research when I can, and I take a lot of content in on YouTube, places like that, for weight loss and ketogenic diet and fat loss and blah, blah, blah. So what I've found is there's this big paradigm, two major schools of thought, right, where there's a lot of people that follow this ketogenic kind of way of life and fasting and all of that, and a lot of people that follow those kinds of patterns talk about how it's all about hormones, insulin, this, glucagon, all of these things, growth hormone, right? That's all that matters when it comes to fat loss. And then on the other end of that, you have a lot of guys that talk about how it's not about hormones. It's not about hormones. It's about calories. And it doesn't matter what you eat as long as you follow calories. Now, I got so many thoughts about this, and I kind of want to put my little 2 cents out there. And what I've noticed is that the people that are all about these calories, when it comes to scientific focused people, because you can get the bros talking about stuff they don't have any idea about, and that's fine. Experience, as you'll see in a minute, it does count for something, but I'm talking about people that can explain why, why things work the way they do. And what I found is that the people that are talking about calories are PhDs. These are guys that are using research, that are doing, following research done in labs to explain why things work the way they do. And there's a certain amount of data to support the things that they're talking about. And then the people that are talking about hormones tend to be the MDs. So, Ken Berry, and then you have Jason Fung and these guys. Now, the problem that I have is that a lot of times people are picking at each other. They're not necessarily interested in helping people that are trying to learn about this stuff. What they're doing is trying to defend their position, right? They're just trying to kind of inflate their thing. So, for example, the PhD guys tend to be like bodybuilders that are following that bodybuilding style diet that is focused on carbs. And so instead of trying to state the facts, what they seem interested in doing is debunking the keto guys, the fasting guys. They want to they want to bring validity to their thing instead of just speaking of facts, which is not science. I don't like that. And on the other hand, the MDs are making things so simplified and watering it down and skewing it the other direction. And everybody is using research to back up their points, because there's as many studies out there that says that it's about calories as there are studies that say that calories don't matter in this hormones, right? So my thoughts, my experience, because as a medical student, as a scientist, as a science-minded person, I see the validity of both arguments. And what I try to do is take what I need from those arguments, the facts, and dismiss the ego and dismiss the, trying to shoot the other guy down, try to get rid of the stuff that doesn't matter. And I try to read a lot of these articles for myself. But my experience has been, and my understanding of the human body, right? Because I've done it both ways, right? Like I've lost, if you saw those other videos I was talking about kind of my experience with weight loss and stuff, I followed carb-based diets and had success with them. Like back when I was in undergrad, I lost like 80, 90 some pounds following a carb-based bodybuilding diet, and I was quite successful. And I've also done it using a very carb-restricted, fasting, heavy kind of approach. I've done it both ways, and so I know they both work. And I've done enough study in biochemistry and physiology that I understand why they both work. So it's not, for me, right? It's not about calories versus hormones. The body doesn't work that way. The body is this incredibly intelligent machine that incorporates a lot of different fail-safes and a lot of different strategies to kind of get where it's going. And so hormones, yes, but also calories. So like I've done the very low carbohydrate thing where I was eating still too much food, and so I've gained weight doing keto. And as we just saw, and that's why I kind of picked this for today, because I was following a very tightly macroed approach, but I was eating too much, so I wasn't losing weight. And all I did was change the amount of calories, and the weight started coming off. So the hormones were in place. The hormone profile was great. I wasn't eating very many carbs at all. My insulin was great, and even and everything, but I wasn't losing weight. And I've done it where I've actually gained weight. And so the point for me is that don't let anybody tell you that calories don't matter. They do. If you eat too many calories, it's fuel for it. And think about it as fuel for the machine. If you put too much fuel in the machine, this particular machine is going to save that fuel for later. You're going to gain fat. That's just how it works. That's just how it works. You can't beat that. That is physiology 101. At the same time, if your hormones are all out of whack and your insulin sky high all the time, the amount of fat that you're going to be able to lose is going to be limited by that, because hormones tell your body what to do and how to do it with the food that you put inside your body, right? So for example, when I lost weight, eating mostly carbs, I was hungry all the time. I was eating all day, every day, because I had to eat these 6 small meals, blah, blah, blah. And I understand now that because my insulin was up and down and up and down and up and down, that's what was driving my hunger, all right? Versus keto. On keto, like I said, I don't get hungry. I haven't been genuinely hungry, and I can't tell you how long, because my blood sugar is even. It doesn't invoke those hunger responses. So I don't get like hunger pains anymore. I don't get that. And so what I think the benefit of kind of controlling my calories while on a ketogenic kind of diet is that I'm able to eat in a calorie deficit without hunger. If you've ever seen anybody that's like a pro bodybuilder following like that bodybuilder style, that typical bodybuilder style diet where the carbs are high but the calories are super low, they are angry and pissed off and tired and exhausted. And I've had that happen because you can't, like, your energy is just too low when you're not getting enough energy. Your hormones are skewed in such a way where you're using that glucose that you're getting to make energy. And your insulin is too high to tap into your fat readily. But your calories are so low that you're not getting enough of anything, so your energy is low, and they start getting libido problems, they start getting hair falling out and just cranky and hungry all the time and all of that. Versus keto and fasting, right? They work the same way. Keto and fasting work exactly the same way, biochemically. Your body is used to burning fat, so it's easier for it to say, okay, you're not bringing in enough fat, we'll just use the fat that you got laying around. Cool. And that's been my experience, is that I'm able to eat very low calories, eat a very significant calorie deficit without fatigue, without hunger, without, just all of the problems that I would have on the same kind of calorie intake, eating mostly carbs. So the carbs, the calories, and the hormone thing works together. And I think that's what the benefit of doing it the way I'm doing it now is that, like, I ate something like 12,000 calories last week, which kind of calculates out to something like 1,700 calories a day. For a man my size, eating that little should leave me wrecked. It should leave me burnt out and just, that's not a lot of food. But because of the way I'm eating, because of the way that I'm eating, I'm able to eat very little food and not have problems with my energy. As a matter of fact, I have too much energy sometimes I can't sleep. So that's my 2 cents on the whole argument, man. Like, anybody that tells you that a calorie is a calorie and it doesn't matter what calories you eat as long as you eat in a calorie deficit, all right, bro. Like, if you're just trying to debunk the keto guys, miss me with all of that, because it's not genuine. It's not. There are some truths there, but that's not the whole story, and some of them know that, but they want to prove their point and keep their following because, keto is a real thing that threatens some of their credibility, I guess. But on the other token, if anybody tells you that it's only about hormones, they're also wrong, because you can eat in a perfectly ketogenic environment and still get fatter, get bigger, gain weight. All right, so that's it. It's not black or white. It's somewhere in the middle. It's gray. And the more we learn, the more we understand why. But that's been my experience. So thank you for tuning in. Like I said, I'm gonna keep going with the eating and stuff, and I'm going to incorporate some exercise this week, and we'll see how it goes. Catch up with y'all next week.